Hello, beautiful people. Now, this is not a video. This is me live. So, just so you know. Good morning, everyone. It's a beautiful day. Not really. It's a beautiful day. It's a bit overcast where I am on the Central Coast. I hope you're well. And I'm feeling wonderful and really looking forward to today. I just wanted to pop online and have a little chat and reconnect. Really important. Connection's very important, everyone. So today, I'm just kind of let you know where I'm at, what's going on, my availability, which I am available. I may not be for the first part of the day, to be honest, because I'm very focused on content and getting things ready for the upcoming couple of weeks and so forth. You may notice, and I hope you have, that I've been very blessed and honoured to be hosting Psychic TV on Thursdays, and I'm really enjoying one, meeting the team on Psychic TV International, and two, just getting to share. I think it's we're in a time right now where it's all about, I keep putting my paper so I don't forget what I'm talking about. No, it's not. I've just got a few things I want to talk about. So yeah, it's all about connection. Let's connect, everyone. Let's get back in touch with each other. Let's, really be involved again. We went through quite a long period some time ago now, where we weren't connecting, where we were actually very disconnected. Now we're in a time in the consciousness where we are all about, let's reconnect. Let's connect from that heart level. Hi, Nikki. How are you, darling? Good morning and love to you. Nice to see you, sweetheart. I hope you're having a beautiful day. So, I'm really wanting to talk about a few things. One being connection. Connection is so important, everyone. We think we can do it alone. And yes, when we're on our journey, on our soul's journey, on our own awareness journey, that is a very solo thing. But when I say that, it's not about just being that. It's more about when we connect, it's about being in touch with our neighbors, maybe being in touch with our friends, being in touch with family, being in touch with people that keep you feeling wholesome. It's about really sticking together, not disconnecting, not feeling foreign from, where you should be. It's about, your own journey. Yes, that is a very solo journey, but it can be also something shared with people that are like-minded, people that are also very in touch, or even on their own, growth, or on their own path. You might be able to share with a good friend who understands you and understands where you're at spiritually. So it's really, really beautiful to stay connected. That may be, via phone, maybe via, social media. It may be via, knocking on the next door neighbor's home and saying, hi, I'm here. Do you need a hand with anything? Hi, Katrina. So it is all about being able to say, I love you, darling. I see your posts. I see all your posts, by the way. I just want you to know, even though I may not get to like or love and things like that, like I normally do, I do see your posts, and I definitely send you lots of love and energy, especially when you're going through some difficult times. My feeling at the moment when I look around and I connect is, yes, we're going through a lot of trying times, and a lot of that's economic too. So you may find that, we're hearing on the news, not that I watch news, but I do get glimpses of it, that the economy is going down. There's a lot of ways for you to find peace of mind in amongst that as well. Just saying, grow your own vegetables, stock up the cupboards a little bit so you're not spending as much week to week. Find ways that you can work within the restraints in the 3D world. But, remember, you can be a vessel of, light and love and compassion and all those things, but still not be affected by everything. So that's really important. That's where we come down to self-awareness. That's where we come down to, remembering that we have within ourselves a unlimited ways to be able to maneuver and move through life and move through the changes that we're all going through as well. So, you know, connection, that's what I really want to talk about. Hi, Christopher. How are you, darling? Connection is so important. You know, don't leave yourself isolated from people because you haven't got enough money to go out, or you haven't got, you know, yeah, for whatever reason. I'm just going to minimize that. For whatever reason you feel you can't connect, I want to say make more of an effort to connect. Even that, if that's a phone call, even if that is just reaching out to a little group that you might have on social media. Stay connected, everyone. When we're connected, we're a part of everything. We're actually, it's not just talking and being, it's an energetic thing. Because in truth, the more connected we are, the more we can tap in, also receive, you know, because when we're connected, you know, sometimes we don't always have an answer to something, but when we're connected, we actually can receive that, sometimes very unconsciously, from another soul. So I think connection's really important. We're coming, well, it's the end of the week. I just really realized it was Friday, but it's Friday, everyone. So, you know, you've got the weekend, and maybe this is a time, if you haven't caught up with friends, if you've got, you know, a quick 5 minutes to say, hi, how are you? You know, just touching base, because, you know, when we're doing our thing, and we're all busy, trust me, with family, sports, kids, you know, helping others that are maybe needing our help, we're really, yeah, we're all really busy. But, you know, you don't want to one day say, oh, I should have gotten in touch with that friend. Now I've lost touch with that friend. And it can be just more of a little bit of a taking that moment to say, hey, I really care. I do that when I'm really busy. I'll send a little message to my friends and say, hey, I love you, thinking about you. And yeah, and then they know that, yes, I'm busy, but I'm also very connected to them still. Because we don't always, let's be real, we've got a lot going on. We've got busy lives and business and all those things. So, but, you know, staying connected is the key. Now, there's a few topics, and I must really add them onto a little reel for you later. But I also want to mention kindness. Kindness is such a big thing. And it's not just being kind to others. I'm saying this specifically, being kind to yourself, being gentle on your thoughts, being gentle on how you move through your world, you know, how you're moving through your day, how you're moving through with the people around you, being a bit kind to yourself. So being gentle, kind, gentle, they're all very similar. But when we're kind to ourselves, we're acknowledging ourselves on such a deeper level. We're not punishing ourselves, we're not beating ourselves up. You know, if something happened that you didn't want to happen, it's okay. Let it go. Move forward. Don't focus on something that, oh, I stuffed that up. Oh, well, so be it. So be it. It's done. Yeah? Try to move forward from, let's say, an adverse situation into a more positive situation a little bit more gently. So when you're kind to your thoughts, kind and loving to your thoughts, kind and gentle to your soul, you know, the transition from having a bad day to a good day can change in a blink. Well, not even a blink, in a click, in a blink and a wick, blink. Oh my gosh, I'm having a good moment today. Good morning, Dana. How are you, my darling? Love to you too, Angel. So I'm just sharing a few little things today because I think, you know, look, it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. We always say that. It's Friday. It's the end of the week. You've most probably had a busy week, not only with work, with family, kids, and all those things. So be kind to yourself. Really kind, you know. You know, when you go, oh, I should have done that different. Well, you should have, but it doesn't matter. What's done is done. Learn to be able to move from that moment into the next moment more gently and more kindly, with yourself first and also with others. You know, there's a lot of things that extend from kindness, patience and compassion. I love compassion. I think compassion's one of the greatest gifts we have as humans, is to be compassionate and to be able to share with people from that heart space. So to me, compassion is always connected to heart. So when you walk out your door with compassion, you've got an open heart. And even though things that might annoy you, you'll still come from a different perspective with compassion. You know, I think all these things, one connection, kindness and compassion, are all key things to moving through your day and your world a lot more gently. You know I talk airy-fairy sometimes, but you know, the truth is there's certain things in life that when we, you know, really tap in from that vibration, and like even talking about the word kindness, when you say the word kindness, there's a part of you that feels a gentleness. You know, that gentleness is also the vibration of that word and that energy. Yeah, so tapping into compassion, tapping into connection, tapping into kindness are all beautiful ways to kind of like bring a different vibration back into your auric field. You know, for those of you who don't know, I always say love itself is the most strongest, most highest frequency. So when we're tapping in from a loving heart, you know, we tap into so much more. We're so much more connected. We're so much more in touch with our own soul and those around us, you know. So remember, these things, these are only little pointers, everyone. You know, take from my videos what you feel you can work with. I'm not saying what I am saying is gospel. I can only say from my own experiences that connection, kindness, compassion, all those things, they really do work. But if you have to work with yourself with all those things first, just do so. You know, if you need to find kindness in yourself again, before you go out into the world again, do that. You know what I mean? And the good old word respect, you know, let's be real. What is one of the most things important to the human race is being respected. So if we know respect from our own divinity, we can also share respect and give respect. And it's not even a thought. It's a natural thing. When we respect ourselves, everything around us is respected. It sounds, you know, cliche, but it's very true. If you have respect for your animal kingdom, for your plant kingdom, for your community, you're naturally going to have respect for everything. You know, so having it for yourself first, saying, hey, I know who I am. I respect who I am. I respect my boundaries. I respect my strengths. I respect the things that make me who I am. When you can really give yourself that, you know, self-analysis and go, yeah, I can respect who I am, you naturally will go out into the world from a very respectful, you know, energy, because you already have that self-respect. So, you know, I always say everything that I talk about comes back to self as well. So if you work from that, from you, the essence of who you are, that will filter out into the consciousness and can have the most amazing and profound effects. So just remember these little things, darlings, because these little things can be just things that bring you back into your center. I love talking, as you know. I always think I'm going to come on and talk about certain things, and I just talk about everything. But this is also my time to connect with you, because when I get busy, I know it's a matter of, oh my gosh, I haven't caught up with this one or that one. So I hope you're having a divine day. I'm having a wonderful day. I've got a busy day ahead, just with things I'm doing, projects I'm working on. But I'm also very available for, you know, readings, healings, consultations on any level. Now, you'll see in a lot of my posts that I talk about aligning. Now, for me, that's a really big thing. So when I say book me for an alignment, that is a reading. If you want to use the word psychic reading, maybe spiritual healing or reading, everything is to do with me aligning and working with aligning your soul. So just remember that, because a lot of people go, oh, what's she doing alignment? Well, aligning is just aligning your soul with your soul's, you know, purpose. And that's what I do. I think that's part of what I do. There's many things that we all do. And I think, you know, connecting, you know, catch up with some friends, you know, really, you know, I know you might go, I'm busy. Oh, that person upset me a month ago. But sometimes we have to kind of like bring that gentle, I love you too, darling heart. I love you too, Katrina. Sorry, I had to say who I was loving. I was loving Katrina. But yeah, it's just like reconnect. You know, you might feel like, oh, you know, I'm not in a good space. That person, you know, was rude to me last time I spoke to them. You know, sometimes we just got to go beyond what's comfortable. And because, you know, sometimes if we're having a bad day, so is the person that we're thinking of that we doesn't want to talk to us, you know. Hi, Teresa. Yeah, life's treating me beautiful, my darling. I'm very blessed and I'm very grateful. I'll always talk about gratitude because gratitude is my attitude. But it's true. I hope life's treating you beautiful too, my darling. And, you know, I love seeing your post, everyone. The truth is, I spend little as less time on social media these days. And I'll tell you why, because energetically, there's so much different stuff on here that can kind of like throw me right off. And it's like, no, I need to keep my focus. I need to be here for the people that I love and the people that, you know, love me and work with everything on that higher frequency. So I do acknowledge absolutely everything. So I don't always see everyone's post until sometimes a week later, by the way. I think that's a Facebook thing, which is very sad because sometimes I would respond immediately to things, but if I don't see them for a week later, well, I can't really do much about that. But yeah, so today I just really wanted to, connect because I love you all, and thank you all too. I really do want to thank everyone because I know that behind the scenes you 1000% support everything that I do, my family things. I love all the beautiful messages you bring through for my boys and, you know, when there's celebrations. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And I really want you to know that if I do see your posts, I do try to acknowledge them. And I do, if I've missed anything that's important to you, please know that my heart and love and all those beautiful things are coming out to you and your family. I think this weekend, everyone, have a beautiful weekend. Don't let anything ruin your weekend. If you've got plans, you know, you stick by those plans. If someone says, oh, why don't we go and do this? And you go, oh, this is what I want to do. Stick to your plans, but say, hey, why not come along? Keep that connection open. Keep your connection open. And, you know, even if that is, okay, this weekend I'm going to really get to know myself more. I'm going to connect with myself more. I'm going to get to really know where I'm at, you know. Maybe that's what the connection I'm talking about right now is for you. So, but, you know, if you have people that do mean a lot to you, send them a text. Even if you haven't got 2 minutes to talk, send them a little text. Hi, thinking about you. And maybe send a bit of love. You know, we all need a bit of love. And the more that we can receive love, the more that, you know, it just lifts. It lifts the vibration. It lifts your vibration, lifts the vibration around you. And, you know, this weekend, maybe just be gentle and kind. You know, be kind to your thoughts, be kind to your actions. You might not have to be really busy. You might be able to sit back and read a book on the lounge. Whatever it be, do it for you. Do it, you know, do something for you from kindness. And if you're going to do something for others, do it from kindness and compassion. So, yeah, I am in the future really excited about working with some more things. I've got things that I've been naughty on, and when I say naughty, I just have really put, and I will be honest, on the back burner. But they shouldn't be on the back burner. They should actually be at the forefront. For those of you who know me, I have made some cards, some healing decks some years ago, and I'm in the middle of getting them completed, which I'm so excited about. But there's one little catch with that. When I first decided to do them, Spirit told me I would only ever do 10 decks. And so whoever gets those decks, they will get that. I'm sounds weird, but it was, yeah, because they're really going to be very profound and very healing cards. Oh, sorry, I'm just Teresa, and who was it? So I did. Oh, hello, Sally. How are you, darling? Oh, I love that. Well, I'm so glad that I help you to ground, my darling heart. That's so important. We'll talk about that actually, because Sally, just for everyone that may not see the post, has just said that I always help her to ground. And I think the key is to ground. When we've got too much going on up here, we really need to ground. Now, what is grounding? Grounding is so important to our connection between the earth and spirit. If we're too up here, we're going to not see what's going on down here. We're going to fall over things, bump into walls, do all those silly things. So when we ground, when someone says, you need grounding, I think we need to ground more, they're saying you need to be more in your body. Yeah? So how we can do that, go for a walk. Walking, putting your feet on the earth is a really good way to ground. Even if it's only a 5-minute walk around the yard. For me, grounding is getting into my garden. Yesterday was a classic example. Got in the garden, and man, my garden looks amazing. And also, I am giving up smoking. I'm a good girl. So I'm really focused on doing things that are going to take me away from feeling like I need to have a cigarette. Hi, Julie. So yeah, so grounding. Why we ground, and what's the importance of grounding? The importance is it keeps you here on the earth plane and not airy-fairy, not thinking way, way, way back, not thinking, it keeps us here and now. So some people like to get in and do their housework. Some people like to, even playing a sport can be grounding. Everyone's got a different technique, and if you're not sure about techniques, definitely do a bit of a Google thing or do a bit of a YouTube thing on simple techniques to ground. I like to, I'll go outside when, later on, because I'm doing quite a lot of work with videos at the moment. I'll go outside, go for a walk, listen to the birds, touch my trees or touch my garden and just really ground myself. You can also do meditative aspects to grounding. There's meditations you can do that are just going to ground you, which is another one is like imagining yourself being a tree and planting your feet really, it's like you're the tree, your feet are the roots, and you're planting your feet into the ground underneath the soil, and you're feeling, because then what you're doing is you're bringing your body here and now. You're bringing your presence here and now. You're not airy-fairy. You're not off with the pixies, as they say. I think that's what they say. And you're here and now. So, groundings are really important, especially when you've got a lot going on, especially when you're not really making sense with things. Sometimes grounding can be the one thing that brings the clarity. So if you want to be more clearer, maybe if you're not as clear as you'd like to be, maybe looking at grounding and making sure that you're grounded. Am I grounded? Ask yourself, stop for a moment. Am I grounded enough in this moment to do what I need to do? Yeah. If you're not, ground yourself. I do the dishes sometimes. If another thing, if I don't want to go outside, I'll just do the dishes. Or actually, another thing I do, and it sounds weird, is that I have here. I've got a grounding. I've got look at this one. I've got a heart one. I love that. But it's also a rock. So sometimes I'll just, if I'm too airy-fairy, I'll just hold a rock because it's hard, it's heavy, and it makes me feel here and now, in the now. So I'm not off with the pixies, which I can do sometimes. I like doing that. But I'm looking forward to all the wonderful things that I'm going to share with you in the future. And I thank you for all your feedback with my videos as well, my little reels. I'd like to give little things. Sometimes simple things can really make a big difference for anyone, and for those of you who follow me, thank you. And thank you for allowing me to do what I do from my heart and soul, because you make it easier. You would have noticed I'm doing the hosting on Psychic TV on Thursdays. I absolutely love that. And I'm loving what I'm learning from, other psychics as well. And we all learn, don't we? If we're willing, we'll learn. If we're closed off, we're not going to. If we close our heart and our mind off, we're not going to learn. So, but also don't be shy to share. If you've got wisdom and you've got something that can help someone, this is what I talk about with connection. The little things are the big things. And the more that we start to do those things again in our world, the more that we actually bring a balance back into the consciousness. Everything that we do affects the world. Not just me, but all of you watching this video, all of you out in the world, everything you do. So I always consciously choose to move in my world as gently and as lovingly as I can. I'm not perfect, don't get me wrong, guys. I have moments, but I have to be honest, when I have those moments, I keep a check on that. You know, if I've got my mind go, no, I'll keep a check on it. It's like, no, I'm in charge, not my mind. Yeah. And not all that stuff out there. So, but it's beautiful when you can be aware of how you're moving in your world. How are you affecting those beautiful souls around you, your children, like I say, your friends, your partner, your neighbors? Are you in the moment? Are you highly strung at the moment? Why are you highly strung? Work with that with your own soul. Am I going through a hormonal problem at the moment? Am I all these little things, the little things are big things, and they're uncomfortable. Let's be real. When we're having, like yesterday, I had a moment, and it was only a moment for a moment, but I still had a moment. I thought, oh, that's not like me. So then I thought, what could that be? Well, I knew what it could be. I think, oh, I'm still here having withdrawals from tobacco, so that might have been my issue, and that's the truth. But then I pulled myself in and went, hey, you know, calm the farm. It's all good. So let's be real. Connection, kindness, compassion. Firstly, if that needs to happen with you first, then you share it out to the world. Perfect. But also, I want to, before I finish up, because I am going to finish up, I want to thank you all for taking the time and energy with me this morning. I also want to let you know that I am available over the next few days. Hello, my beautiful Kana. Love you, love you, love you, love you, love you. Yeah, so I am going to be available over the next few days. I have, some availability if you are wanting my services. Now, if you're not sure what I do, please go to my website, www.raylencable.com.au. I've got a few little specials there. So I know, that we are in tough times on let's say in a economic state. So look, I'm always flexible, everyone. Please don't feel that you can't have my services because of funds. We can work out something. Do you know what I mean? Also, I can do my work from online. So if you can't get to me physically, I am able to do Zoom, WhatsApp, phone. I think I did something, I can't remember what it's called now because it's technology. FaceTime, I did that the other day. So there's a lot of ways that we can connect if we can't actually physically see each other. And, I love the fact that you're all here because I get to share with you and share some loving energy with you. Thank you for sharing your loving energy because that's really important. And I want to say, please be kind and gentle. Stay connected. If not, just be connected to yourself and connect with those that love you. Sometimes all those little things are the most important things and the significant things that make a difference. Respect thyself, and then in turn it will be that you will respect others. Now, if someone doesn't respect you, that's their choice. But as long as you don't lose self-respect because of another. I love you all. I will be back soon, I promise. And I really love this. Thank you. Much love and blessings. Have the most beautiful day and have the most beautiful weekend. And be kind and gentle to every thought. Much love. Namaste, everybody. Talk soon. Thank you.